right, welcome to another episode of Morelia on Radio. No, we didn't quit.
The leading theory is that we were kidnapped by other podcasters and ransomed back to Lucas for Woma eggs, and it took him a while to decide if it was good enough. Longer than I was expecting him to have to wrestle with that. I'm a little upset that,
should be without hesitation.
Yeah, that he didn't give up the Woma eggs that quickly, but we're here. So, yeah.
Episode 561. It's just going to be Owen and I. And, just so everybody knows, my aunt passed away. That's kind of why we've been off, because she went to the hospital, blah, 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 blah. And here we are. So, well.
Please lodge all complaints to the Morelia Python Radio Complaint Department.
Yes.
Which is that the number is linked to the only payphone in the town of Birdsboro. I'll drive by it tomorrow, and if it rings, I will answer it.
Yes. Yes, there you go.
Yep.
He only goes out there at 12 o'clock.
Exactly. I can't even, I just drive by it. If I'm around that phone and it rings, I will answer it. That's my promise. That is my promise.
Hello.
It's like, finally. Oh, crap.
I've only been driving by.
That'll be the one time. Yeah. I've had so many problems with your podcast since the beginning. Oh, shit.
Wow, you've been trying to get in touch with us for a while. I got tons of messages and everything, and I haven't gone through them yet. So if you've messaged me and I haven't answered you back, I'll get to it.
That's why. Shut up.
Call the phone.
Yeah, call the phone. I don't.
So I figured we catch people up on the San Diego trip that we took.
Right.
Albino pythons. Yeah, you stayed there. Yeah. The rule of keeping one.
We can't travel in the same thing at the same time. Hey, exactly. It's very, designated survivor-esque. If the plane goes down, Lucas is in charge of NPR. I don't know what he's going to do.
Well, I mean, I took off a couple weeks and things just fell apart.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Managed to get one carpets and coffee out, and then the rest was like, nope. Which, that happened last time. I don't know why people are surprised. I will, without the captain, I don't know what to do with this ship. It's just going to keep going. It's fine.
The thing just keeps spinning.
It's fine. It's hard right, and it'll just go in a circle till you get back. It's fine. Yeah. It's called a holding pattern, and that's the plan. So
that's it. Right. Yeah. Well, you did a good job at that.
Thank you.
And I figured we'd touch on my breeding season fell apart.
Mine's not looking so hot either. You had that issue. I had a wonderful kick in the balls. So we got one clutch. You and I have one clutch.
Woohoo! We have I'm back on the board, baby.
One Morelia clutch, still in the game, baby.
Nice. All right, where do you want to start?
I guess we'll start with your trip, because I've been wanting to hear, because if I remember correctly, you guys were just tripping over species. You were like, oh, we came out of the hotel and look at this, and I'm like, what the
I don't know if I would say that, but we did find
there was a lot of pictures. It was upsetting.
So this was a return to San Diego, and I did go by the scene of the crime from the last incident last time I was in San Diego.
You really got killed. Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's a story there too. There's never a trip without a story.
Never. Yeah.
So basically, this was a different one, right? Because I flew in at night.
Okay.
Which I think I kind of liked it. But
flying in at night?
Yeah. So I think I got there. I left here, I think at 4 or 3 o'clock or something like that. Or maybe it was 6. No, I think it was 6 o'clock. And then I got there and it was 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Or maybe 9:30. Somewhere in that area. It was early evening. But, we just went straight out, did some herping. It was kind of cold that first night.
Yeah.
And then we just, made it back to the spot. Hung out for a bit, and then we went out the next morning. But we didn't stay like a full week. We were only there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, I kind of like the quick hit trips, to be honest. Like when we went down to Florida, where it was like it wasn't that big of a deal, and I was still back with enough time to like do snake stuff and then like chill. Like, oh, cool, yeah.
So it was me. Obviously, Rob was there, and Brandon Valentine, which was his first time meeting him. Very cool guy, awesome. He drove the whole trip, which was
nice.
That's always awesome.
Nice.
It was funny because on my way in, I was listening to him on. He was on there with what's his name? Kush.
Okay.
Right? So I was listening to his episode with Stephen Kush, and just listening to what he had and whatnot, which was cool. He's was awesome finding snakes with him. With the young guys, man. I got to keep up with.
You were able to keep up with him, or was it like
Well, there was the one hike that they did. I started going up, and it was. I was like, well, I'm going to sit this one.
You also got to understand is that Rob looks like he's not going to be able to do those things, but like Rob is like Rob will hike forever. Like I've never seen him be like the slow. He's like this way. No, he goes. Yeah,
100%. The hiking part is not that bad for me. It's the elevate. Well, I should back up.
The need to breathe. Yeah, probably.
So before. Again, this is what kind of screwed everything up. Right before we left, I totally forgot about this until you said that. I was in the hospital with an asthma attack. So I don't know if I was just super stressed or whatever.
Damn it, dude.
I was in the hospital with an asthma attack. I think it was 2 days before we left. And I knew going up this, let's put it this way. The last time we were there, it gave me a hard time. And then just coming out of the hospital,
you just got beat to shit. Like to say that you and I are the kind of people that if something goes wrong in the machine that we're going to be like, I can't go. Instead, we're like, I'll die on the mountain. It's like, no. Like, and those, I feel like those are the things that really shouldn't be, but somehow still are. So Brandon and Rob, they went up. I think they found a ringneck snake. So technically, we have them. I didn't see it. Yeah. I have them in my yard, so it's kind of like, okay, I'm not going to kill myself. Oh, it's a Western ringneck. All right, yeah.
I think we found one in another spot. But
then it doesn't matter even more. Yeah. So it's like,
exactly.
It didn't matter before. Now it doesn't matter even more. So, all right.
So other than that, it was go. But that was the only hike that I didn't go on as far as because it was just like even Rob was saying, he's like, dude, this is rough. It's like, I don't know. I think this is probably wrong number, but for whatever reason, this sticks out in my head. It was like maybe a 500 to 800, maybe to 1,000 elevation gain within a very short period of time.
And that sounds like rattlesnake territory. No,
rattlesnakes weren't even up here.
Oh, well, then hell, why are we doing this? What were we looking for the ringneck? Like, I don't know. No, but
I think we were looking for milk snakes.
All right, yeah, that makes some sense. I'll allow that. I'll allow it.
But we found one. Was
lower?
It Rob? I can't remember if it was Rob or Justin or Tom, but they found one on the last trip on the same hike.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So I already did the hike before, somewhat. And I was kind of like, I'm not gonna kill myself.
This isn't like when you guys left me at the hotel in Australia, where I'm like, if you find a carpet python, break all the laws and bring it to me. Like, don't you dare not do that.
Laws mean nothing.
Laws mean nothing. We're leaving. We're not from here. Like, so
exactly. I mean, other than that, another different thing for me this trip, which it's kind of. Rob and I were kind of texting about it, but it's kind of interesting how, like, when it was just 3 people, I stayed up all night. when it's a group of us, I go to bed early like an old man. Like when we get back to the place, sometimes Rob, he's like a night owl, I think. And he stays up until
Rob's like, gentlemen, you have earned this IPA drink. Yeah, exactly. I don't want it.
Yeah.
You can drink this hoppy water.
So yeah, I mean, every night I think we ended up going to bed at like 4:00 in the morning, and then we'd be up at like 8 a.m. to go fucking miles and miles.
You feel safer in a herd because you won't get picked off.
That's right.
By a predator. Like, you can hide easier. That's let your guard down. You want to go to sleep. I understand it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Well, yeah.
So you get it.
Thank you. It's like that one time that bear almost took you off that trail. Like, I get it. I understand. Yeah, it's there. 100%. Fear is there. It is real.
It's real. So yeah, I mean, I think we revisited a couple of places. I think we did find the two species of rattlesnakes that we were looking for.
Cool.
Actually, we found the Ruber. We found 3 in all stages. Like a real young one, an older one, and then one that was real red. It was 3, right? Maybe it wasn't 3. Maybe it was 2. But we found it. It's crazy how the we found 3, and it's crazy how they look from
the change.
Yeah, because I'll share this picture. It's probably actually one of my favorite looking rattlesnakes, to be honest. I love that red.
You have so many. Yeah.
Color,
That's so pretty. Oh, yeah. It's a nice tail too.
Yeah. So this one was just out on the trail on our last day, right before it was the Eastern Diamondback style.
It was, right? Yeah, the Eastern Diamondback situation. But it looks so much healthier than that Eastern Diamondback that I saw.
Yeah, well, you
can't. We went right after winter. Of course, it looked like shit. But okay.
You went in winter, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think it was winter.
Yeah.
I don't know when the seasons are. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a cool one to see. We found the Sopak, Southern Pacific, right on a trail. It was funny. We pull up to the spot. Here's another crazy story. Everybody knows how much I hate mayonnaise, right?
Yeah. There's a huge hatred of it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we stop at this spot, and they have Philly cheesesteaks for sale.
Please.
Now we're in California.
Please, no. Right? No. Why did you get a Philly cheesesteak in California? It's crap.
Actually, the sandwich wasn't bad. But it wasn't a Philly cheesesteak. But the sandwich itself wasn't bad. I mean, it tasted good, but it wasn't.
Just call it something else. It's not that. I don't understand. Yeah.
Should have just called it a steak sandwich or something. Exactly. You know what I mean? Not just a Philly cheesesteak.
Not
yeah. So we ordered up. Now, mind you, I'm freaking starving, right? And you know that how the trips work. We're eating like once a day. What I mean? It's like
Rob turns to you at a gas station and he says, "This is dinner." You're like, "Oh,
yeah."
All of a sudden, you're just pouring things in your hands. Yeah.
So we stop at this spot, and we stop in the parking lot of the trail we were going to do, and I'm eating it, and it's like the bread, like when the bread, how our rolls, like it kind of like is a V, and there's no break in the roll.
Yeah.
Well, this one had a break in the roll.
Well, that's stupid.
Like a hamburger almost.
Listen, how mad are you at Wawa when you're like, I would like a hoagie, and they cut all the way through it? You son of a bitch! Like what you're supposed to do.
This isn't a photo shoot. What are you doing?
It was. I think the maddest I've ever been in a Wawa is when I saw someone spread the mayonnaise on my sandwich and then put it in the toaster, and I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Man,
I'm about to come across the counter. Like it's anyway. Now that we back on track,
So I go to take a bite of this sandwich, and I notice the white stripe going down the break in the roll.
Why is there mayonnaise on a cheesesteak?
Right?
What? the hell?
Never in a million years did I ever think to say no mayonnaise on a cheese steak.
No, well, listen, there was, when I worked at Penn, there was a food truck that would park at a Penn, and I ordered a cheesesteak, and this lovely woman who was running the thing, every time you ordered something, she would ask if you wanted mayonnaise on it. And there were several times where I'm like, what? Like, I ordered like a cheesesteak. Please don't put that on there. Like,
yeah. So, this will give you an idea of how hungry I was.
Kept going. You just kept going.
I saw the mayonnaise.
Just did it.
I looked at it and I was like, I'm like, oh man, I took a bite of it and I don't really taste it. And it looks like it's just this strip. I'm like, oh, let me try to wipe it off a little bit, but it's still on there. And I'm eating it, right? And in my brain, I'm like,
what are you doing?
I can't believe I'm eating mayonnaise. And at the same time, I'm like, but it tastes pretty good. And I'm like, the other side's like, no, you can't eat the mayonnaise.
Don't do it. It's just okay.
But I was so hungry that I powered it. I engulfed it.
Tell Dory when you get home and she's like, oh God, just horrified. Yeah.
Well, one of the crazy things about me is my ability to like house food in a like very quick manner.
Listen, you and I, because it's the same thing. It's you grew up in a household with like siblings. If you didn't eat quick, you didn't fucking eat.
Yes.
Like, so right. I will do the same thing. And my wife's like not even halfway done. And I'm like, well, single child, okay, only child.
Yes,
3 siblings, okay.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
You get it.
Yeah, I understand it.
And not to mention the fact my job, right? So like when it even got worse as I started working in retail, because it's like, okay, you got 5 minutes to eat.
You get 5 minutes to eat, then you do this shit.
You know what I mean? It was like as soon as you sit down to eat, it would be
inhale like, this, because who knows what's going to happen.
Manager over the thing, and you're just like, oh my God.
So you can never have Hot Pockets. Like,
that's right. Yeah, well, I don't have any feeling on the top of my mouth anyways. But anyway, so we're there to find Southern Pacific rattlesnakes. We're at this trail. We eat the sandwich. We're all filled in mayonnaise, cheesesteaks, and
I don't understand.
I don't either, man. But it kind of like blended together and kind of made like a. Because they had some kind of sauce on the steak, so it kind of like disappeared into it. Otherwise,
just kind of
I wouldn't have been able to do it. But I guess if I'm ever in the apocalypse and the only thing I can have is a ham and cheese sandwich with mayonnaise on it, I'll be all right. It's
like, well, yeah, it's the apocalypse. I'm like, I'm gonna eat a cat. Like it's so. Yeah.
Unless you're with Nick, he might eat you. But
yeah, I mean, Nick will very quickly. Like, you got to understand, Nick will very quickly resort to cannibalism. It's terrifying how
100%.
Yeah,
he's not even.
He admitted that
shy about it.
Yeah.
So we get on the trail, and I think we were. Beautiful. Brandon was literally, I don't know, 3 steps on the trail, and he's like,
there it is.
Pro pack. I was like, holy shit.
Cool.
They're a very pretty rattlesnake. Very, very pretty. And
yeah, they are. The face kind of reminds me of Originos.
Yes, very much so. Potent venom, though, that I was
don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Don't touch the pointy end. They have like one rattle on its tail, like a little, like the little
bud.
Little bean.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love those discussions that Rob has before we go anywhere. Owen, what are you not supposed to do? Touch anything without properly identifying. Correct.
He's probably
I'm noticing he's not having these conversations with anybody else.
Can't freaking handle themselves in this. You know what I mean? It's like, why am I the one that's in charge of all these people? Unfortunately, you signed up.
I don't know, dude. You volunteered apparently.
So I would say this, like the pictures. So for the people in the Patreon, you'll be able to see the pictures. But the people that are listening in, go over to Rob's Instagram. What is it? I always forget. I always want to call him
High Plains.
I want to call him Herp. yet. Herp the Kurt. Jesus.
Herp the Kurt. What the hell?
I gave Jesus Christ. I fake a couple weeks off and I can't even talk.
Oh, the wheels are off. It's
oh like my goodness.
The ship is filling with water.
Yes. What has happened? No. Anyway,
Rob should get a t-shirt that says Herp the Kurt.
Culture. Herp the Gertie.
Owner Herp the
Swedish meatball dude.
Oh my God.
What the hell? Like this, I'll show you. I will share you one of Rob's picks. There you go. You can see what I'm
There you go. Yes, he says High Plains Herp.
High Plains Herp. Yep. That's Rob. He's got a yellow Kofiau.
Yeah, that is why. Like, I know his little thing's a Kofiau, but like,
maybe it's a Kofiau. It's a yellow chondro.
But does he have? When was the last time he had chondros?
Oh, a long time ago.
Thank you. like shouldn't that? I guess
5-6 years. 7
maybe
years
he doesn't
ago?
want to change it to like a rhino because he's afraid people will bother him. So it's like,
I don't think he cares.
I don't think he gives a shit. Yeah,
I don't got the energy to change that. Who cares?
Take 5 whole minutes to change that. No, thank you.
Maybe stroll in the chondro community. Like yellow's better. Yellow is better. Yellow is better.
I swear to God, I'm going to get those. We need to sit down and draw a design for those shirts of Team Yellow, and it's yellow chondro, and then Team Red into red chondro. Just to that's kicking over a gas can and lighting a match.
Yes,
that's all I want to do. So
So the crazy thing about the rattlesnakes, we were on the Pacific Coast Trail, like the one, the one that goes up the whole thing. I think it goes from like maybe Baja all the way up to the top of the U.S., maybe Alaska. I don't know. I don't know if it goes quite that high, but I know it goes through California. Anyway, we walked that trail, and that was pretty much like all day long, going back and forth on this trail, because we would pass people and they'd be like, watch out for the rattlesnake.
Where?
And we're like, where?
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. So, we would go to where they say it was, and nothing's there.
Yeah.
I think that happened to us 3 times.
Every time I've ever been somewhere and somebody's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, we're looking for snakes. Dude, there was one on this trail just laying across it, and it was huge. Oh, shit. And it was like, how long ago? Oh, like 5 seconds. You run over, it's gone. No matter what it is, it's gone. I've never actually come around a corner and had the thing just like still chilling there.
No.
Yeah.
And this is what happened to us last time as well. Same thing happened to us last time. So, we walk back and forth. There was a cool group of people that we met that were like excited that we were snake hunters. You know what I mean? Like usually they're just people that are hikers and whatnot.
You're like, why?
Like, they don't want to be bothered by the snake. We're like looking for the snake, They're like, oh, you're looking for the snake. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, go here.
Okay.
Like, okay, we go. And then I guess the only other, so we caught a bunch. I think there was maybe 3 sidewinders that we found.
Nice.
In the area where they, I told you before where we found them. You drive up and down the roads, and they got the big windmills going and whatnot. So they were all over the place there. And then I guess the only other crazy thing we found was when we were driving up and down, so we're by Borrego Springs.
Okay.
And we're just going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down the road. It kind of like winds up the mountain. You come back down and winds back up. Right. So, we're back and forth. And we get to, Rob yells out, that he sees a snake. And I think that he originally thought that it was a gopher snake. So he jumps out of the car. But mind you, there's not a lot of you can't really get off. There's
no pullover. Okay.
Yeah, there's like those little, like as you're coming around the
emergency
bend,
shoulder. Yeah.
Shoulder.
Okay.
Type of thing.
All right.
So we're like, oh shit, what are we going to do? At the one end, he pulls off, Brandon pulls off, and they're going down to get the snake. And I'm like, okay, let me pull the car off. So I kind of drive down, and it's kind of far. And I'm like, they're like, oh, it's a rattlesnake. So this was a speck.
Okay.
Right. So it was this one. It was actually quite nice.
A quite nice speck.
Yes. But the funny story about this, it was, so it's like right on the edge of the road. So obviously, more than anything, we're trying to get it off of the road so that it doesn't get killed.
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere for this snake to go. It's going to get, it's going to get hit.
Yeah.
Right. So they tell me to turn around and that to come up the other way, and that there's a spot that I can kind of get off.
Pull off. Okay.
Not really pull off, but enough room that we can kind of get off.
Okay.
Right? So we kind of do it, and now the sun is going down, starting to get dark. We got the snake away. It's safe. It's off the road. We're up on the like on the edge. We got plenty of room. Mm-hmm. The car is kind of like sitting not the greatest spot, because it's like people are going to be driving up and down this road, so, and it's starting to get dark. So
put the hazards on, right?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay. All right,
hazards are on, all that.
Okay.
Stuff. Next thing I know, I can't remember which one came first. I want to say that this guy pulls up and he sort of asks us, like, hey, what you guys find? And we're like, oh yeah, we got this speckled rattlesnake or whatever. And he's kind of standing there talking to us, and I think we introduced ourselves. I think he said, hey, my name's Eric, Rob, Brandon, go back. He's like, oh yeah, he was there for a bit. But here it turns out that it's I can't remember his Luke Snakewalker.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We know him. I can't think of his. Oh shit! Now I'm forgetting his freaking his real.
So he's a guy that actually does like YouTube and stuff.
So he actually was talking to Schmitty from THP, and he was, he somehow it goes together. That's like, oh wait, that was the NPR guys, right? And it was like we kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of weird. So we were kind of like, I wish I would have known that it was them. We would have, chatted and talked, but we just kind of checked out what we were doing, checked out the snake. I think he took a couple pictures and he's on his way. Next thing you know, this couple pulls up and they want to look at the snake. They're from England.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, wait a minute. What are the chances?
Are you a nipper? Like it was.
I'm like, first we had somebody that NPR and whatnot, and now we got like all we need to find out is their relation to Nipper.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all I wanted. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
If I were to say the word nipper to you, what comes to mind?
Yeah.
A very scary nipper. Man. Correct. Like it. Yeah.
Oh, this lady was over the moon that we were letting her take pictures of this snake. Like she was, oh man, she was so excited about it. Cool. So she's taking pictures. They had one of those big cameras,
like they hit the button daylight.
Yeah.
Like, okay, wow.
Like if you're taking pictures of bald eagles swooping down, like picking up a fish in the water. That's the kind of camera they were working with.
Count the individual droplets of water on the bald eagle's feathers after he comes out of the water. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, we're there with them for a while, and then it started to get pretty dodgy because it was starting to get like traffic. What was it? Crazy busy, but there was more traffic.
Just trying to get it, yeah.
So and then at that time it was pitch black dark. But
you don't want to be something about hanging around like a venomous snake. In the dark. Like I would like to
on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Yeah.
There's too many
too many variables.
Things going on.
Of course, this now furthers my thing is that you need to start introducing yourself as Eric Burke Podfather. You need to say it. You need to that needs to be the thing out of your mouth because those people that were doing the stuff that were talking to Schmitty, if you had been like Eric Burke Podfather, the first thing out of their mouths would have been the Podfather, and like, why? yes, my son.
Yeah.
Like, that's
the one and only.
The one and only, of course. Yeah.
Let's see. I forget. That's really bothering me. That
problem is that if you were to do that in my presence, I'd throw a rock at you.
Yeah. You asshole.
I would. Yeah. I mean, you told me to do it. I did. That is true.
I did. This is true.
You are correct, but I have to humble.
When do you listen to me?
I have to humble you now. Like it's
yeah. So that was that, and I think that was kind of all the. Rattlesnake wise, I think.
Okay.
Well, we did find that there was one more speck that we found. That
you said the sidewinders and stuff like that too.
We did find this speck too, which was it had a lot more pink in it.
Yeah. For like a quick second there, I was going to be like DOA, but no, I'm like, okay, no, it's just a weird sitting word.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
There was these two people out herping, and it was some redneck herping, man.
Oh, okay.
They have a rattlesnake, and he's using his hat as sort of like a. We're like, oh, this is gonna end badly. So we're like, you want a hook? He's like, no, I got a hat. What the fuck?
Well, what's the demographic where it says like, most people bitten by rattlesnakes are adult males through like this age and this age. Normally, like with an average blood toxicity level of this, it's like,
that sounds about
drunk
right.
Idiots poking it. Yeah. So
that sounds about right.
I got a hat.
I think we found 10 species.
Cool.
I think that was what we found. We did find this one. I think you'll appreciate. Well, I sent you pictures.
I appreciate a lot of things. Yeah.
That was a pretty snake.
It is. Yeah.
That was a pretty snake. So it's Zenata. Beautiful, beautiful snake.
I like Zenata.
Yeah.
But
cool.
I've sworn I will not add any more projects.
We'll get to that.
I can't.
We'll get to that.
Well, don't you worry. Okay, yeah.
One of the coolest species that I think we found, Brandon found when we were driving, was this leaf nose snake.
Ah, cool.
So just different looking, kind of like a patch nose, but like a bigger.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's like an indented rhino, right?
Yeah. It's a reverse rhino.
Yeah. So this snake eats gecko eggs and possibly gecko tails.
Oh my God. Could you imagine doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to set up a gecko breeding colony just to throw them in there.
I think the size, hold on, I did write it down. I think they don't get big at all. 20 inches max length. Leaf nose snake. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just on the crawl. We found a glossy snake at the gas station. What else? Somebody that we were on the same road with found a gopher. Showed us a gopher snake, so that was cool. I know that happened
in Texas, where like we would drive past something and somebody's like, "Oh, we found this, and this. Oh, cool!" And then we'd be like, "We found this, and this." It's like you just happen to be like, they happen to be coming the right way, and then you happen to be going the other way, and then by the time you guys passed each other and went, the snakes are gone. But yeah, just have to be the right place, right time.
So when we were in the the Borrego Springs area, this is kind of so it was like kind of two different environments.
Cool.
Desert, which that was awesome.
Pokey plains.
Like,
yeah.
Yep.
And
then probably the other was more like kind of very similar to Pennsylvania, I'd almost say.
Yeah. Was it West Texas that we wanted just to throw away, or was that Arizona? Which is the one where like we just came home and threw the socks away because of all the sticking little things that were still in there?
Well, I think that was Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't think it was when
You and I went to Arizona separate.
Yeah. But I remember, I think the one time that Rob got stabbed with those jumping needles or whatever.
Yeah, it attempted
to kill him. His foot or whatever.
Yeah,
that was in California because that was brutal. But
Jesus.
But yeah, overall it was a good trip. It was awesome hanging out with Brandon. It's always awesome hanging out with Rob. Yeah. But it was a good time. I'm glad I went. And we knocked out the another 3 species or 2 species.
He's getting to the point where he's getting all the easy ones are done now. Like he's getting to the point where they're going to get harder and harder. And then now it's going to we're going to have to ransom him back from a drug cartel because he went down and he tried to find that one. And it's like, you, God damn it. Like,
it was,
Job will flip the bill for that. They like it there, right?
We were talking about that, like why I think it was kind of like when we were talking to Brandon about how did the trips all come about with the rattlesnakes and all that. And it was, it was going back to when
you guys are all upset you couldn't go to Australia.
And it was like, and here's I guess it is fun finding rattlesnakes.
It is,
but like, and it is cool to say of seeing all the species. By the way, Nipper found all of the snakes in he found
every single one.
Every single species, yes.
Now, how mad is he going to be if they introduce a new one? Like, what's going to happen? Like, is he going to punch the scientist in the face? That's like, I think
he will.
Yeah,
I think he will. He will protest any new species being added, dump it into a previous species. I don't want no subspecies splits until he finds more North American snakes.
Brand new species. NPR is now dedicating its time, effort, and money to research of new species in Europe. Yeah.
Right. Well, when I saw that, I thought about like finding all of the snakes in the United States.
Impossible.
All of the species of snakes in the United States, or all the species of snakes in Australia,
Well, the problem is that, it'd be so hard to get through some parts of it. And some snake species are just so small. And there's a lot of snake species in the United States.
Yes. I guess you don't really realize how many species
there are
until you start
the problem
looking
is
at
that
it,
you start thinking about it there's only this many this and this many that. But then you get into like the patch nose, the leaf nose, like the queen snake, smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's like, oh shit. Like,
right.
And then where do you divide the line as far as species go?
Yeah, you would, how would you break up the rat snakes?
Exactly.
How would you break up? That's the one thing that when we were in Florida, I was saying, what happens when we find all the rattlesnakes?
Then what?
Then what do we do? And it's sort of like, okay, well, you need a new.
All the European gecko, all American geckos. Oh, boy. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going back to the one that's in California.
I have
bad memories of that.
We can shoot for salamanders, but that's a lot of time in wetsuits, and
I don't look good in a wetsuit.
I don't want to do that.
I don't know. I think the thing though with having a goal when you're herping is it kind of makes you do it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's a reason to sort of
I kind of like Rob's approach of like, this is the plan, and then if I can get a couple people to come in with me, like I have not been on every single trip and neither have you, but Rob is the one who's ticking them away and we're just like along for the ride.
Yeah. At this point, Rob does basically all of the
Rob does everything. We just start
intel on the trip.
Yeah.
He would be should we call him the herp father?
He's like the field marshal, like, yeah. And we just move things. Yeah. It's just like, where should we set up that? Okay. Like, that's all we have to do. So,
yeah, he puts a lot of time and work and whatnot into sort of to doing it, but I think for me it's obviously I think a doable one is all the pythons in Australia. I think that's a doable.
Well, we have a good lead already on the Northern Territory. And if you guys, because when you headed back there, October,
yeah.
If you just drive Durat Road for 4 days straight, you're gonna get an olive. Like, come on.
I was thinking about that, right, when we were in the desert, and we were sort of like just walking around, so quiet. There's nothing you can do but be with your thoughts. And I started thinking about like, oh shit, if we find an olive python, it's going to be bittersweet.
Yeah,
it's going to be bittersweet because you'll be the only one that's missing.
Yeah,
and it would be like, damn, we'll have to go back to the Northern Territory.
No,
again.
we'll have to go back to the Northern Territory. Like, but there's that thing. Like, so now, do you? All right, so we have the 5, and we're missing 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you spend more? Do you? Well.
Yeah. We're missing 1.
We're missing
but
1.
I have what? 2.
I'm just talking Northern Territory.
Okay.
So, do you spend more time, like, hunting the olive python, and maybe less time, I don't know, wandering around the botanical gardens looking for a random Darwin, or cruising? Like, do you zero in on that olive python, and then like even like what, less Owen Pelly python time?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Find another Owen Pelly python. That's awesome. But then what if you miss on an olive again?
Well, I would hope that I can go back to the Northern Territory.
Exactly.
Again.
Like that is like, well, we'll have to come back. Like,
yes.
But I don't know. I think it would be like, I think obviously Owen Pelly python is the number 1, because you always shoot for the rare shit, because you might trip over a blackhead when you're looking for an Owen, because that's what we did. So, because that happened.
Right.
But I think you put more of an effort after that towards the olive, because then you can check the list, check the box.
I think at least for me, I don't want to speak for the rest of our crew, but I think for me, the thing would be, like, because it's so far away and you're only doing the trip once a week. And if you're trying to sort of see, or you have a list that you're trying to find, I think you would have to put a good bit of effort into finding the olive python.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because that finishes late. If you're gonna do all the pythons in Australia, and that's your ticket, then you need to put the effort in towards the one you're missing in the Northern Territory.
Yeah, and see, I have this other list that's probably I'm the only one that cares about, but like seeing all the different like locales of carpet. Whereas like, like you or Rob or or I don't know, maybe Justin's probably not like that, but like whoever, you might be happy just to, like, we found the Morelia spilota variegata. Like, I want to see a Humpty Doo. You know what I mean? Like, I want a Humpty Doo Darwin.
You want to jump to the.
I want one of the islands Darwin carpets. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the same species.
When I find the rough scale python, I won't be happy until I get a left side of the gorge rough scale python and a right side of the gorge rough scale python, and then maybe a middle of the gorge rough scale python.
Exactly.
Like that's Yeah.
This is a Kimberly Roughsy. This is a
another Kimberly Ruffy. Yeah.
Northern Kimberly, Southern
Kimberly.
Yeah.
This side of the road, that side of the road. Like,
right.
Yeah. That being said, I may just walk into the ocean after getting the rough scale python because I've peaked. So yeah, it's all downhill from there.
The level of excitement. I think I have a hard time like putting this into words, but like the level of excitement of finding a wild python for me is like, I just know my reaction is different. I don't want it to be because I love all reptiles.
On the other side of the world, like,
I think it's just because I love pythons.
All right, well,
you know what I mean? Like,
I get that, but
I'm sure that it's not what we have and it's not what's normal. And
I'm sure that's part of it, because it's
I'm sure that comes
like, why was it that Nipper was like, you guys have rattlesnakes? Oh yeah, we do. Like it's
that's
one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's nothing like them on the world. son of a bitch, he's right. So,
yeah, we do have, that is a cool thing. I mean, we do have a lot of cool species here in the U.S. for sure. I
guess it's just the python thing, because it's like, this is an animal that if I found this thing cruising around my backyard, something has escaped from my room or somebody else's. Like, this is not supposed to be here.
You don't see it. It doesn't feel normal. It doesn't.
Honestly, Cali Kings do that for me. Like, I imagine seeing a Cali King in the wild. I'd be like, what are you doing here? And it's a Cali King.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be there. Like,
you're right. When Justin found one when we were out in Utah, yeah, it was really cool because it was like, wait a minute.
It's black and white Cali.
It's such an iconic, pet herp.
Right, it's a herpetoculture species,
like,
right?
Yeah, it's and you see it and it looks like that. You're like, oh shit, somebody lost their king.
Yeah, oh no. Let's get you inside, friend, where you're safe. Wait. Like,
hold on.
It's supposed to be here. Yeah.
I think and that's the other funny thing about U.S. snakes. It's like the whole laws of like what you can keep and can't keep, and like, you know what I mean? It's like, if it's in your state, you can't keep it.
Yeah.
It's out of your state, you keep it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a lot of that. And I know that, so I think it was not the last Hamburg, but the Hamburg before. It might've been the last Hamburg. Fish and Game was there and they did make an arrest because they had originally,
they did.
Yeah. And the rumor mill going around the show, because when you're let out of a show in handcuffs by Fish and Game, people tend to notice. The rumor mill across, because everybody, of course, is just going to talk about that for the rest of the day, is that the individual had been given tickets for selling native species or having something without a permit or all that other stuff, and had not addressed the tickets, and Fish and Game knew he was going to be there, so they came and arrested him. And after that, I will tell you that after a show where someone is arrested by Fish and Game, and that's the rumor, people walk around from table to table and try to point out how potentially other people are also violating such rule. And they ended up in front of my table, a bunch of rumor mill people. And they're like, well, yeah, look at this. And he pointed at my black rat snakes. Okay. And I'm like, what about them? They're like, well, you're not supposed to have those. I'm like, I have it in my license. I checked it. They said, because it's a morph, it's cool. And they're like, well, yeah, but what if they changed people who were running the department? Or what if that was the rule when you checked and it isn't anymore? I'm like, excellent point. But for right now, this is what I was told. And I only have 3 of them. Everything else on the table is legal. And if I were to get some kind of ticket, I would address this, because I have all the emails where they said it was cool. But it gets the gears turning of, is this a species worth the headache?
Probably not. Right?
And I think that happens with a lot of stuff, like eastern indigos over here, or even black pine snakes.
Yeah.
Is it worth the headache? I don't know.
Man, you really got to love that species.
You do.
If it's just something that you're using to sort of add to your table, I almost feel like it's not worth the headache.
I almost feel like it's not worth the headache if you're like on the East Coast where we are, because now I can sell them in Pennsylvania to other people, but one of my wholesalers is based out of Virginia, can't have them. One of my wholesalers is based out of New Jersey, can't have them. And it's it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I think I'm okay, but you're right. Like the animals could be confiscated because somebody reads the book and the rules change. They don't give a shit about morphs now, when 6 years ago when I got the license, they didn't care. Now they care. Okay.
Right. Wow. Do you think that's because herpetoculture has gotten so much bigger?
I think so. I think it's something where it's like, I think obviously that, we've talked about how the state of Pennsylvania is the Wild West, and how certain things they really don't care about. Other stuff they give a whole lot of crap about. Like anything native, Pennsylvania cares a lot, especially native venomous.
Yes.
As far as other stuff like, they don't bat an eye at all the stuff that I have. It's just the black rat snake. That was that we care about. Okay. So, and could you easily plug in a new species to get the same results? Hell yes.
Yeah. Just you could get a
white-sided
kind of rat snake or
I get a white-sided king snake. Yeah.
Or that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
another one of those medium-sized is that what you call them? Medium-sized colubrid? Medium
to smallest colubrid that you can sell at, shows and do other stuff. And that's where the rat snakes came into it. So
right.
I don't know. So I'm kind of wrestling with that, especially because I didn't even breed them this year because last year they were hard to wholesale because of all the regulations and rules from the various people. I eventually found someone to take them all, but I've had these 3 because she double clutched on me. So I wholesaled the one group and then I had 3 the next time. And I have 2 albinos and 1 normal white-sided.
Okay.
All of them are white-sided. And it's just been so hard to sell them. And I'm like, maybe I want to get some more king snakes. Maybe I want to do some other stuff. So.
Yeah. And there's a lot of cool, little colubrids and stuff throughout the U.S. I know some of them, they eat kind of weird things and shit, but, I don't know.
Yeah, been there and done that. Bought that.
I think you're okay with that.
I think I'm all right. Yeah.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
I think we'll be okay. Yeah. So.
But yeah, I don't know. It's always interesting to me, like you said, how Pennsylvania kind of looks at that stuff because it's like, really? You don't care about this?
About this, yeah.
That doesn't seem to be okay.
I'm not going to tell you your job, man, but all right.
Yeah, okay. What else? Yeah,
that 15-year-old is buying a crocodile, and I have a small colubrid. And
yes, exactly.
You're jamming me up. Okay, all right.
Right. So. We were just talking about wild pythons, but real quick before we talk about breeding and whatnot, I guess this is what I'm saying. There was this post that I saw where this gentleman shared a wild Angolan python. What was his name? Otto Clayson?
And I assume this is somewhere where they're supposed to be.
Nambia.
So yes.
Yeah.
The answer to that question is yes.
Yeah. Cool. Man, it looks different, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't that look more like a rock python?
Yeah.
Don't it? Yeah.
I had a bad. I am now down to 1 Angolan python. Unfortunately.
Oh no.
I went from a reverse trio and now I'm down to 1. So.
Oh man.
If you have an Angolan out there and it's a boy, relatively closer to an adult size, and you're willing to trade for, I don't know, an adult proven Chinese king rat, let me know, because that's another story we can get into too.
Good segue. King rats.
It was a kick in the balls. So this would have been my 3rd year producing Chinese king rats. I have 2 Het T positive albino, my adult pair. Eat like crazy, grow like crazy. Female's good for 2 clutches a year. And I don't even try to double clutch her. I just let her go.
Right.
Well, she's gone. So she got egg bound. And we tried to do what we could. She laid a couple really bad looking slugs. And then there were a couple more that I tried to palpate that weren't really moving. We gave her a shot. Nothing was really moving. I drained one. Nothing really was moving, and then she was gone.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so. You have that moment when you have a project like that, where it's a side project, the fringe project.
Yes.
Do you chase it? Because automatically, say this was a core species thing, like Angolans.
Right.
I am not going to get rid of Angolans. I have an adultish female. She's getting there.
Right.
Angolan. I am not going to just ditch her. I'm going to go find a boy.
Right.
So I'm going to keep going with that project.
Right.
King rats, they were a fun thing that kind of fell into my lap that I bred. And had some success breeding, and they were on the edge of, I kind of rode that wave of their popularity because they have become more popular as a species.
Okay.
They're not that hard to feed. They grow like weeds, and a lot of other stuff. So, and I was able to produce albinos and normals, which was cool. Okay. So the issue then comes in is you have an adult male proven het albino. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now you have to go try to find either an adult female albino girl, raise up a baby albino girl, or you have to trust somebody when they say they have 100% hets or 50% hets or whatever the hell. And I'll tell you, a girl can take, I think it took me 3 to 4 years to grow up mine. So you're in that long haul. And then in the meantime, this male just sits and takes up a 4 foot, 6 foot, however big his cage is, cage.
Okay.
So
what do you do?
Exactly. Those are your options. Do you chase the project by getting the adult, or I have an albino female left over and a pos het boy left over? Do you chase the project that's already established with your adult male and try to get an adult female, or do you just sell him, restart?
Well, I guess the first question I would have to ask myself would be, how much do I love
Chinese king rats?
Right. You know,
like I said, I've had some success with them. Like they've been to, sometimes I've been at a show and the only thing I sold was a pair of king rats, but that made table and then some because, other stuff. So they definitely don't.
Do you think with those rare snakes that you sort of have to, I think you've been pretty good with this, and I've been meaning to ask you about this, and maybe it's the trade secret.
Now's a good time,
Like when you're trying to, so you have your projects that is your mainstay projects, right?
Right. The ones that will never leave.
Your white lips, your roughies, certain carpet ones and all this stuff that you're just like locked in. You always have them. But then you have these satellite projects, and you've said multiple times the reason you do that is because you do a lot of shows. And when you're doing a lot of shows, having variety is really the way to be successful at a show, which I agree with. Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. How do you figure out when to pivot? Like I think of the Mexican black
king snake,
snake, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like it was like nobody had them. Then everybody had them, and now nobody cares about them type of deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's probably not 100% the case.
No, but they have a spike. They're a hot item. They're a hot ticket. Yeah.
It seems that you've been able to ride the spike at the correct time.
Right.
So I don't know, maybe maybe what plays into it is the fact that you talk about those things on NPR, Carpets and Coffee. So it sort of like puts it out there that people check them out and, blah, blah, blah. That's a possibility. It's a possibility that, maybe a group of those animals become available at a certain time. And
I just happened to hit those at the right moment. Yeah.
Breeders that are looking for that different thing. You and there's a few other people that are kind of in that same vein that you could see grabbing onto a project like that.
Right.
So how do you even think about it? Is it something that you don't think about? You just go with your gut? Like how do you judge that part of it?
I go with my gut and my own interests mostly because I'll tell you that the thing is that, and I also have started adopting the thing of if you gotta. It used to be that like the babies didn't sell, the parents didn't breed this year, or I have a whole clutch of this animal. Screw it, and I burn the entire project. Right. Where it's like it's so much easier just to not breed them. Like just skip it. Just skip a year. Skip it 2 years.
Sure.
And then breed them again, because I'd much rather do that than to be like, shit, if I had held on to these.
Yes.
It's so that's definitely part of it. The other thing is that things kind of just happen to work out with certain stuff where I had an interest in various other things like the mad hogs, like the king rats, like the rhino rat snakes. And I just happened to be able to be producing when people had an interest and a spotlight was kind of turned on to them.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I'm not even scratching the surface on some of these things. Like there are locality king rats. Like every small island off China has a king rat and stuff like that. Like there's a ton of that kind of stuff. And there's even Japanese king rats and stuff like that. So there are so many different things, different mutations, different morphs, different stuff. And I was just like, here's my pair and here's my babies. Like, and that's all I'd ever do.
Right.
The weird thing is that like people have actually started asking me questions about care, breeding, and stuff with the Mad Hogs, where it's just like I put them in a cage together and I just kind of walk away. Right. Like I don't, and it's hard to try to be like, I wish I could tell you like a deeper dive. Like people are like, oh man, how long did it take for you to get eggs? Like the third clutch this year, or I don't, because that just kind of happened. I just opened the door and they were there. Does the male get upset with the female? No, he doesn't he doesn't really care. So it's like I wish I had more info to give to people. So but as far as like deciding when something should go, it's like like we were talking about with the black rat snakes. It's like, well, this is how much I can sell the babies for. It's like $100 each. Yeah. And it's pulling teeth to get $100. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
They have 20 something babies a year. And now you're telling me that legality might be an issue somewhere, sometime, someplace.
Right.
And it's like 3 strikes, dude. It's like, okay, it has been like pulling teeth to sell these 3 babies that I have. Mm-hmm. It has been, like I didn't even breed them this year because I don't even want the babies to deal with. So it's like the parents beat, which is fine. I like to give the female a year off every once in a while and stuff like that, just because I want her to bulk up. Usually it's on for 2 years, off for 1, unless 1 year is bad, and then you just you shuffle it around and do whatever. Right. Same thing with pythons. But you don't want to do it too much because then it's like now I have these 2 animals that are just taking up cages.
Yeah, you're kind of at this spot though now, like whereas maybe from years ago where you sort of had still more space where you could grow into it.
It didn't matter. Right.
Now you're at a situation where you have to be very particular with the projects you have, because a lot of those babies that you had maybe 3 years ago are now coming into adulthood or getting very close to where they would be in their adult cage. Right. And it's sort of like you have to be very, That's the thing that I've kind of adopted, where I will work with a project until something forces me to move it. Something changes. So a classic thing is I am going to sell my Crebo. Okay. Because I have worked with the project. I've gotten slug clutches. Now, because space is a commodity, I need to move my false water cobra into bigger cages. So Crebo out, falsies move, which means I got 2 bigger cages to move my trio of Madagascar hognose in. Okay, cool. Which means now I have a 4-foot cage to set up another trio of rhino rat snakes in. Okay, cool. Those work. And then that opens up a ton of 3-footers and a ton of 4-footers that I can put, my scrubs are going to move into 4-footers that are taller, so I can put perches and ledges and stuff in there, because I feel like having a missile with teeth above my head watching me from a place where I cannot reach. Right. This may have been a poor decision. Yeah, like that's may have been a bad idea. So we can do all that stuff, and then it's what moves. So, okay, that's the shift over. So with colubrids, I have mandarin rat snakes that are growing up. Mm-hmm. I have pulchra bamboo rat snakes that are growing up. Mm-hmm. So then the next thing is that I would love to add some more Asian rat snakes. Let's get some coxeye, because the pulchras, dude, I mean, that they've been so goddamn easy. Yeah, so goddamn easy. They're in a bin. They're in one of those little bins that you gave me that you kept your baby carpets in. Oh, yeah. We have in one of those with mulch, moss, a water bowl. And they're on the top of the rack in the cold room. Nothing on them. No heat, no nothing. That's you drop insane. A live pinky in there and you close it and you walk away. And you're good. Yeah. And they're growing like weeds. That's okay. Awesome. And they're pretty snake.
Oh, they're gorgeous. So you look at this 10, because I have this white rack. It's a natural habitat system. Right. So it's the big 41 quart bins that they used to get of like Target. Like
one that's
big,
on the side.
Yeah. The iris or whatever, the big ones, thick plastic.
Yep.
And they open this way, like drawers, like they're long ways. You look at that and it's a 41 quart and you're like, well, I mean, either I could find a way to divide them, like something that goes in there. And what if you open the drawer and you had a mandarin rat snake on each side? And then breeding season comes and you just kind of remove the divider. And now they got a full 41 quart for 2 mandarins to kind of chill in.
Well, I might have.
And you just have to, and you just unplug. I wouldn't even need to plug in the fucking thing. You're like, all right.
I might have something for you with that because you remember that one that I made, that rack that I used to keep similar tubs in, but I kept it with the lid, right?
Yeah.
What I used to do is that you can fit 2 28 quarts going the other way.
41. Oh, okay.
And I think you may have to put the lid on it if I'm not correct. But I have a bunch of them in my garage. I'll put some aside.
Listen, it wouldn't be a summertime if I'm not raiding Eric's garage for supplies that Dory wants out of his house.
So happy.
Yeah, exactly. See?
She will be so happy.
Yeah.
She's like, what are we going to do with all these tubs?
What does Owen need more shit? Like, you're like, give him a minute. He'll figure something out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, but like, and that's the option where it's like, all right, well, keep mucking around with these snakes for now, but the other ones are growing. So
I almost feel like that the bamboo rat snakes, right? That group.
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling that this is another one of those species that I know they've been popular before, but like, I don't know. I remember back when I used to listen to reptile radio, I'd hear all about them all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Chad Brown would be talking about them all the time.
Oh, they're first off, they're awesome looking.
Yeah,
they're vicious little devils from the pits of hell. Like, but it's this fucking big. Like, I don't like shut up. Like, so I think, and can you imagine? I mean, we have all this stuff about rhinos, of setting up rhinos in these giant enclosures with this gorgeous shit. You could fit like 2 or 3 pelkers in the same kind of setup, in the same kind of enclosure.
Right.
And they would look just as pretty.
Do they stay out a lot, or are they burrowers? Or
they burrow. Mine burrow down, but dude, the rhinos hide most of the time.
Do they?
And then you just like, it's like, you got to understand it. It's like having a moray eel. Like every once in a while, it's going to pop its head out, and you're like, there it is. Like it's all, like that's it.
Sometimes it's about the enclosure as well. You know what I mean? So like if you're especially with the species like that where you can really go to town, right?
Oh my God,
because they're small and you know whatnot. You can really do something cool. And
I'm doing that more and more, where I'm enjoying the idea of having the animal in a larger cage than expected. So
that seems to be a thing.
Yeah, well, I've been moving animals up sooner from like 5s to 15s to 32s and stuff like that. And then it's right now, like I put my giant adult bredli, my female. Usually throughout the summer, she's in a 4-foot cage. And then during winter, I kick her out to the side room in a 6-footer.
Right.
Well, I had a 6-footer open. So am I going to leave a 6-foot cage open when I have a snake that's big enough? Like, no, screw it. So I just threw her in there, and I love it because it's like you fall in love with it all over again. It's a big, giant bredli.
Yes.
Chilling on it, like, and you know this
appreciation for
right, and you know this cage because it's the one that like I had my big Team Wars in at one point. It has this tree branch, so this giant bredli is just laying across this tree branch, soaking up the sun coming in through the window, and you're like,
sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yes,
and you're like, all right, obviously I want the next thing. So
yeah, it's Yeah, that's awesome. I did know it did seem like that a lot of people are moving towards that, which I guess is a good thing. Maybe the pendulum. I feel like in the world there's this pendulum and it just swings so far to the one side, and it's like, all right, this is too crazy.
Too much back.
Roll it back. Yeah. And then it ends up in the middle, and then it swings to the other side, and it's like, too crazy.
Too great this way, yeah.
And it's like we slowly but surely kind of
we're going that way.
Progress in the world, I guess.
I mean, it would be very cool. Like I'm already talking about knocking out. I want to get rid of that desk back there because I don't use it it's full of shit.
Right.
And I want to get 4-footers, and I want to get 1, 2, 3 4-footers.
Okay.
To match these, and I have 3.3 rough scale pythons that I'm keeping. Okay. I have my 3 adults right here.
Right.
And then I have a juvenile, and then I have 2 holdbacks.
Okay.
So what you would do is you would have the boys, 3s, and then you put the girls in the 4s, and then you put a pass through. Put one of those doors.
Right.
So
then a 4 becomes 7.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So like during breeding season, they have 7 feet of cage, and I think that would look awesome. And I think I could get these little ones up here to have all my little grow up stuff. Like, oh yeah, it's just.
So here's a question for you. We're looking at a stack of cages, right? So and I don't know, maybe the audience can comment as well if they have some thoughts. But like, if you're going to do cages like that, let's just say that you're going to do like, even if you're just going to do like a background, let's say like you're going to do a what do they call that? Universal rock background.
Yep.
Do you make it look like one big wall so that the cages sort of disappear and the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or do you individualize each cage? What would your thought be?
I like what I'm doing here, where it's like they have a general formula. Everybody's got a ceiling hide. Everybody's got a hide box. Everybody has a couple sticks. Everybody's got rocks that are attached to the ledge on the side here. So they have a rock ledge. They have sticks. They can sit there. I'm moving too much. I'm getting this one down here.
Yeah, right.
I'm getting its attention.
Right. Okay.
So it's like coming out. And I'm like, she just ate 2 fucking small rats. So this one up here, this one at the top.
Yeah.
She's fucking huge. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
maybe,
but I think it'd be one of those things where it's like I like the idea of having a generalized formula, but I also like it that each cage is kind of individual. Like I don't want to get. I hate chondro cages when they have like carbon copy of like this is the same burnt PVC pipe that's it's at the perfect state, the exact number of inches. It's like the only thing that's different is where
in the same spot.
It's either here, there, or there. Like no, I want different shit. Like I want to go get the sticks, sand them down, prep them, get them in there, get them all twisted, find the ones that are really cool looking. Like the one in the bottom cage, it literally almost looks like a deer antler, like scoops. Which is cool because then it kind of gets this really nice thick part and then some thinner parts that are up on the rocks that are secured that way. So it's safe for him to kind of do that, but he can be on a perch, 3 inches off the ground because that's the way that one of them goes. And I've seen him on it and he's like, I'm up high. It's like your tail is like laying on the ground, dude. Like it.
But I'm up high.
But I'm up high. Of course you are. So I like that kind of stuff where you can kind of individualize it. But I would definitely do like more rocks and stuff. Like I would have that is going to happen. It just needs to be when, which I got time because he's not even big enough to get out of that thing yet. And then these 2 are small as shit. So I got time.
I wonder. So these cages that are behind me, right? Yep. These here, eventually they're going to be reworked into Antaresia cages, right? Because they're not as tall, blah blah blah, but they're still 4-foot cage, all that stuff. So my thought would be, I don't know. I think it might take away from it because of the fact of looking at, unless you had like a solid, viewing area. So it wasn't obstructed by, edges things or support beams or anything like that. But anyway, having like a big, huge, like rock that kind of like would go up the cages.
All
you know what
things.
I mean? So it's almost like the rock was in the cage was built around the rock.
Built around the rock, yeah.
Right, that kind of thing. Or if you had like just a big, like if you had something that looked like just a giant tree.
I have a giant rock ledge that I ripped out of a friend's cage when he was destroying it. It's a universal rock. It's a big rock ledge, universal rock. Okay. And he had it in a croc monitor cage, and he just got rid of the croc monitor, and I saved the rock because he was destroying the cages, and I have it. And all I keep thinking about it is how great it would look in a diamond python cage. Like, and that's the only thing. And this rock it's upstairs in the attic. I'm like, when I get the diamonds and they grow up, and when I build their final cage, everything's gonna be built around this rock. Like, it is nice. This is the centerpiece I want. Like, right. So there's that kind of stuff where that would be awesome. There's just so much stuff that would do that kind of stuff. And I've thought about adding this summer. I wanted to try to at my hand at making my own rock ledges, because I have a couple in some cages downstairs, and the animals that have them, they're on top of them. Like, they're always on them. They're always checking them out. They're always using them. So I'm like, okay, maybe other animals would be interested in that, which is why I want to sell the Chinese king rat boy, which going back circle all the way around. My decision for the project is we're going to sell the male.
Okay.
And I'm going to restart with the babies.
Okay.
Because that opens up 2 4-footers that are taller for the scrubs. And if I sell him, that gives me time to really
figure out if you want to do it. Oh, do the cages. Okay.
Scrubs, branches, rock ledges, hide boxes. Get it right.
Right.
Then move scrubs up to them. And then that now gives me time to raise up the other pair, the younger pair of king rats. And if I decide that the project's dead and I don't really want it anymore, I just sell the babies or the juvies that I've grown up. But if I want to keep it, then eventually I'll get to the point where I'll have adult king rats again, and we'll try again.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. I mean, the fact that you're sort of like, you're kind of dipping into the best of both worlds there, and that you're sort of not getting out of the project, but in the same time, you're freeing up space in the present that you sort of need in the present.
Yeah.
Which I think that's a smart move.
And I mean, that's the other thing, is that certain stuff is going to start. I have a lot of things that's going to start forcing out other projects. Right. Like, I have 2.2 olive pythons, 2.2 adult olive pythons, 3 of which are proven. The other male, I don't know what he does.
I thought about that, right? And I thought about, we can figure out if your male is works or not.
Yeah.
Because maybe next year I'll be able to breed my female.
So I'll send you that boy, and then I'll keep the other boy. And if he breeds, then it's good.
Yeah. Then you have olive. I was like, how come I never said this to Owen?
I never told him this. I don't know. It's just
like,
but
I'm sure you probably love this idea.
That because I'd love to try it.
Because he knows he'll probably get like all of the olive pythons. Right. Like, here you go.
I'd also like the idea of being able to decide. Because right now the one male is the dad of all the olive pythons I've ever produced.
Okay.
But he's both females. And then I have another boy that is just kind of not done anything.
Right.
So the issue is that I'd love to go down to 1.1 olive python. Love to go down to 1.1.
Right.
The issue then is that if you go down to 1.1 and the other male's like, I don't know.
Right.
Like my proven male all of a sudden loses everything. That would be a project that I would be upset to lose, even though I've produced olive pythons multiple times. I would like to keep that project around. So ideally, though, like, dude, my team wars are getting big. They're going to need bigger space. I have Argentine boas that are eating everything inside.
They're going to need a lot of space.
They're going to need space. It just kind of comes down to that. Like,
yeah, you haven't even tapped your toe. I mean, I know you've done boas and you've added quite a few of them, but I know there's even more that you sort of, hog nose or hog islands.
Hog islands.
Yeah.
I need to stop looking at Sanzinia. I need to stop. Don't
Sanzinia.
let me look at any more Sanzinia.
Speaking of which, did you see that Keith produced gelatins?
Yes, Keith produced gelatins.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. Very happy.
He messaged me and he goes, "What's the price on gelatins?" I'm like, "No freaking idea." I'm like, "But
$650."
I was able to find that. Yeah. I went around looking and I'm like, I'd say $600 for everybody and then bump a good one up to 650.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The one he had a nice stripe on the side.
Oh my God,
I was happy to see that. Yeah, that's really cool. He said to me, because I lost my mail, and so I have just young ones that were growing up, and I don't even know if they're male. Like I have like maybe 4 of them that are left over from various
50 shots.
The ones that Lucas is getting were the pick out of the clutch.
Right.
And I sent them to Rob, and Rob is sending them to Lucas. And I
have to send Lucas a rough scale python. So
okay.
Yeah. He traded rhinos for a roughie, and now he's buying a roughie so that he can get roughies again. And I said, listen, I've sent you many things and you have like dispersed them places and I haven't cared. The roughie comes home. Okay.
Yeah.
Like if you decide you don't want that anymore, you send that thing home.
Yes.
Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. We were kind of talking about that. That was the funny thing, right? So we're talking, and I didn't even mean it this way, but I was sort of saying, I forget what we were talking about. I was like, no, if you give somebody a snake and they go to sell it, or they're going to sell it to somebody else, before they do, you should ask the person
you ask me if I want it back.
You want it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Rob's like, oh shit. Well, I guess I should have asked you.
If you crap, that's the rule. Yeah. Yes, that's the rule.
I'm like, no, Rob, it's okay.
I don't really
Even though they're the best ones of the clutch.
Even though they're the best ones,
okay.
I lost
It's
my
okay.
mail.
Send them to Lucas.
Fine. It's like,
but if Lucas, decides he's moving them
like,
on,
I traded
then
it
we're going to have to have a talk.
I traded it for a Dermos boa. Lucas, get over this.
I so remember. It's funny, right? It's funny how you can look at Lucas, who's younger, right? That he's sort of going through that, trying to see what fits stage where you're just like trying to find your. I know he's like, the Asphodite is kind of his thing and all, but like, he's got all these other things that he
found his bread and butter. Now it's time to find the fun things that are around the bread and butter. That's what I think. Yeah.
But I love the fact that he's very quickly like decides on whether it's for him or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's no like, I don't know. Can I hold this for years? And it's like, nah, this ain't working out. Time is of the essence. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I owe Julander some. So I had what was it, 1.2 for Justin,
right?
And when I had that situation with the mites and all that shit, they
rolled.
They rolled because I'm assuming it was because of that. You know what I mean? Because it was
the stress
just like,
levels of that kind of crap. I mean, it could have been anything at that point.
Yeah,
we can sit there and
so
dissect
I have to produce. I have to produce some so I can send Justin some.
Yeah, you do, dude.
Plus, I do. I love producing. I love that locale. I think that's probably the coolest locality that we have.
How crazy am I being in the back of my head right now? And,
oh boy!
And you'll appreciate this. So our good friend Chris Salemi.
Okay.
Has a proven pair of IJs up on Morph Market.
What do you just want to breed them and call
I just want to get them. I just want to buy them, breed them, and be like, done.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Same thing with, because then I could get rid of that pair of het granites that I have too. Just ditch them all, get them the hell out of here.
What is he? I wonder what ones he has that he's trying to sell.
He has a pair.
Is it like his GQ? Hannibal?
I don't know. I don't think so. I forget what it is. Hold on. Let's find out.
Chris, if you're listening, Owen's ready to do some deals. He's ready to do some deals.
I am ready to do some deals of appropriate price. Let's see. I will give you my pair of hats for those. For the adults. Probably it's like, I have hats. Shut up. Let's see. Oh no, are they gone? Oh no, wait. Yeah, proven breeder, female.
Yeah,
Chris Salemi. That's him. Nothing else. Nothing listed.
I want to say that I think that's his
2012 proven breeder, female Papuan carpet, feeding on frozen dog meat and rats and quail. Prefer to sell as a pair, with the 2012 male listed in the other ad. She's very dark.
Yes.
Almost like rough scale pattern, which might be why I like her.
Yeah.
It's the closest you can get to a rough scale python without being that.
A rough scale python?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should do it.
I mean, they're dark, but I don't know what to do with them.
You could breed them and then
sell them and then be happy. Yeah, I don't know. I have to talk to them. We'll see what we can do.
Speaking of crazy pythons, what was your thoughts on this, the albino white lip? I have kind of been out of it, but I did see this picture.
You did see that happening. Okay.
So my question would be, my first, is this a northern or a southern?
That's a northern.
It's a northern. Okay.
Yeah, because you can see there's white scales near the eyes.
Yep.
Even though it's an albino.
Right.
That's a northern.
Okay. So then my question was, you have this one with this, it has like a lavender type head, and then it's really...
That would probably be a T positive, or I'm sorry, T negative albino.
T negative albino.
Right.
So what is this one then? Is this the same snake? Is this a different snake? Is this one of those?
I think it's the same.
Is this older?
Snake. I think it's the same snake. I think it's either that or maybe it's one where the flash didn't wash out the head too much. But that is definitely not a T-neg, which is what we've seen forever and a day.
Right.
It might not be the same snake because they don't see the white around the eyes.
Then I thought maybe this is a southern and the other one was a northern.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
Which is kind of crazy that you would have albinos in both.
There was an albino southern and a T-neg, and it sold, and then the other person lost it or some other stuff happened, which sometimes when people get animals like this, they like bombard people's Instagrams and stuff like that to try to get a reptile person in the US to give them a buku bucks for it and stuff like that. And then sometimes it sells and then it gets to where it needs to go. And the person who gets it, it comes in and it's like full of this, or it's not clean that, or not as advertised this, or it doesn't look good that, or never gets off to the races and dies. And then you never hear about it again.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, it could be. It is weird. I would love to see more pictures of them. I would see comparison between the two. Yeah, that's different than a T-neg or T-pos, which is what we've seen. So the T-positive albino white lips, they kind of have a faded head like that, but not that kind of like bright gold yellow body.
I really love the body.
Yeah.
I just wish it had a black head.
Right? Like I wish it was able to keep the color of the head.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's a pretty snake.
It's weird that the head is like washed out pink like that, but I guess it's kind of like how a blackhead looks, where like they get that washed out pink head, an albino blackhead. They have that washed out pink head, and then they have the yellow stripes. So
it yeah, maybe. I guess it depends. I mean, most of the ones that I saw that even made it to that, they eventually grow into a whitehead. That's why I thought maybe that was an older version of this little, like it looks like they're the same size about.
That's a big snake. That's probably the size of my adult female.
Okay.
Like that's big snake by white lip size. Like that. That's mature.
What was the feeling of this? Were people anti?
Dude, it's always that. There's always the thing there where people are like, this is amazing. It's like, okay, I'd kill for this. Right.
And
it's like, but the people who are like, who've done it, people who are kind of like in it, the people who really love white lips, it's like, I think it's cool. I don't care though. Like, I'm not going to mortgage my house to get this thing.
It's a cool looking snake.
Exactly. To be like, now I will be super, like, cause I have one clutch under my belt. And even then, I'm like trying to recreate that magic in that lightning in a bottle, and who knows? Right. But like, I don't even think anybody like Lisa or Ryan, who like produces consistently, would be willing to take the risk on that. To be said, if somebody like produces Paz albino white lips and offers a pair to Ryan, would he turn them down? Probably not. Same thing with Lisa. But like, why get one animal to start that whole headache when so far you can just keep doing what you're doing and churn out good looking animals, the wild types?
I'm always kind of torn with especially like these more, what's the word? Care specific.
Rare,
not difficult, but just very specific in the care that's sort of outside the norm of the standard Python keeping regimen.
Less forgiving.
I kind of like the morph thing is cool. It's cool to see, but it's always kind of good that I feel like that's in Indonesia and not here. So it doesn't like put. I just am always afraid that people will run out and want to get it, and then they realize that it's a lot of work to take care of a snake like that. And then,
but we've already had that kind of stuff where like a certain species pops out a different looking animal or a new morph, and it's always that people. The one that the go to is the gold Mac,
right?
So with that one, it's like it appeared, gorgeous looking animal, and people clamored all over themselves to try to get it so that they could breed it.
Right.
And then the person who had it, I believe, thought he could do it himself. And of course, this animal was huge when it arrived. There was all these other things wrong with it. You're already starting behind the 8 ball. And then you never got to breed it. So you imagine getting that white lip.
Yeah.
And you don't know. Like albinos have problems, dude. They can't take the light. They can't take this. They can't take that.
Right.
It spent its life living in Indonesia. And you're going to like wild caughts are bad. Wild caught morph. Holy shit. Like, I don't.
I mean, they did it with ball pythons, right? But, I don't know. I just kind of feel like, there's a certain part of me that feels like, let's not go down the road of that with this, if that makes
what
sense.
I would rather that thing do is get set up in one of the farms in Indo.
And then maybe produce hets or something.
And then maybe produce hets that way. I would rather that thing, I'd rather you to set that thing up where it can be its most successful in a farm in Indo, where all I can do is churn out hets. And then the farm in Indo takes the hets and they breed them, basically flood it with those type of animals, and then take the risk and bring babies over.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's...
If you can farm breed chondros, you can farm breed white lips.
Yeah, I wonder why they don't.
Easier to catch them and sell them.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
I guess that makes sense. And plus, I don't know, or I wonder if white lips have the same laws that are chondros. Like, you're not allowed to take them out of the wild.
Well, yeah, and I think there's not anymore. And I think there's that whole thing of like,
I don't think you ever were.
No, I don't think you were either.
Yeah.
But I think when you get to a certain point with things, like I know the import rules were weird about like in Indo, it's like, well, you can only bring in what you tried to bring in last year. Yes. And if you wanted new things, you have to go through a whole big, long paperwork process. Yes. And it's like the 1 year we didn't bring in any Dunai, and it's like, okay, no more Dunai. And it's like, crap. So I think with white lips, they just keep bringing in white lips. What's the point? We catch enough white lips. We do enough that there's no point in breeding them. But for something like that, I would set that thing up and in Indo and then see what happens. But it is going to be a lot of work for a flash in the pan. So if I set it up, I get girls for it. I feed it, maintain it, produce it, get the hats, sell some of the hats, raise the hats up, put them together, get the albinos. Or I can sell this one animal to one dude and get one paycheck and be done with it.
Right.
I don't know. It just depends on how people would do it.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was worth.
Dan should get it. Dan Malerian set it up on his farm in Indo. Dan, there's a weird white lip I want you to set up. What
are you doing, man?
What are you doing, Dan?
I'm sure he'll be right on it.
Thank you. He finally got my letters. Yes. But it's I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought cool snake.
They're fun. They're fun. What I would rather see established and what I would rather play with, to be honest with you, is we're playing in this fun little white lip sandbox, the red ones.
Yeah.
The red faces, because they're scattered and there's so few of them. And like one person has one here and one person has one here. And there's like rumors of potential other ones and things popping up here and there. And it's like, if we could get the red ones established, which is like a whole nother third line of white lip, that'd be cool.
And the red ones still have the black head, right?
They have like a dullish reddish head, but they have more white.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, they have more white on their head. So I've seen them where they have, golds have the little like few couple scales. They have like, it seems almost it fades brighter around here to the point where it's like pale whitish around the cheeks in one or two. But yeah, I'd like to see that more than like an albino white lip. Like I want to see other faces.
It used to be, I guess, when I was first coming into it, maybe it was just the idea of it. But I will say that albino Burmese do look pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I used to love an albino carpet, and I think if you have the right one, you're going to get one that's really stellar. And I think that because of the lavenders that come into play and whatnot with them, I think they're one of my favorite albinos. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I like albino snakes anymore.
It's so obviously when we came in, the albino was like, you can't have this. You can only look at it, which made us both like, but I want that. And I know, I will say this, that many people who have large albino snakes like retics, berm, stuff like that, have told me that Darwins are by far prettier albinos than them.
Yeah.
It's like, so you can have yellow and white, or you can have yellow, white, lavender, purple. Like, okay.
Right.
Like, and they're very pretty. I don't really have, like, I have albinos right now. Like I have my albino boy, Pure Darwin, and I bred it to that girl I got from you, which is the caramel het.
Right.
I have albinos. I have caramel albinos,
right?
And then I have these caramel hets. I like the caramel hets better. Like they look like granites because they're just so weird. And I'm like, you guys are cool looking. And I'm like, right, no, the caramel albino is the pretty one. Like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? Like, hey, dude, and my albino boy, I got my boy from Nick, and I had a het female. It died. I had an albino female. Turned out to be a boy, so I sold it. I had a Jag albino that was like capital J that was a problem, and ended up letting that one go. So I mean, I've always wanted to use him and produce him, and now that I've had, I'm like, why are you here?
Right.
Like I've done it, and I'm like, okay, and I don't want to get rid of him because he's an albino, and he was so important to me and stuff like that when I wanted to get him, and but it's like, so I can produce the same shit again. I can do that again.
Right.
That so far I've sold maybe one or two, or I could, like, I didn't breed them this year. Could have, didn't wanna.
It's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right. So like that, or it's like, well, she's taking up a 3-footer. You're taking up a 41. Like, I don't. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if for me, I don't know. I guess that changes as you get older, I suppose.
Well, more and more, it's like, I think you get into other projects that are the ones you run a roll with. And it's like, well, when the pavement, it's when it's due, when you finally get to that point where you gotta, rubber meets the road, where you gotta make the decision, they're going to lose. They're going to lose up against certain things. Other things they're going to win.
Right.
They're going to lose. Right now, again, I don't have a need to move them on, so I won't.
Right. But as soon as you do,
if the need arises, they're gone.
Right. And, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Holding it's kind of like I feel that way with Womas, right? Like I love Womas. I think I'll always have a pair, right? And I definitely want to try to breed them and all that stuff. But I don't know if it's like if I had to choose between, I don't know, Imbricata or something. You know what I mean? It would be like,
right.
Sorry, right. You're out of here.
So certain things stay. Certain things will stay no matter what.
Right.
Rough scale pythons, I'll be dead before I let them go. Never.
Yeah, you have your species.
Like never.
Yeah.
If anything, the cage stacks behind me will just keep expanding, and then we will figure it out. Obviously, various carpet python stuff, the caramel stuff, but Maclots are they will stay. But I'm down to like a pair of bredli. I've sent all my other bredli to Buddy for him to breed. And he did, right? He did. He's got the stonewash is gravid.
Good for him.
And I'm like, so basically he took my stonewash and bred it to your stonewash. And I'm like, so you just took our shit and bred it over there. So, I mean, I'm not mad about it. I just like,
I guess.
Awesome.
So stonewash the stonewash?
Yep.
Oh, that's a good. I mean, if you, that's a good clutch. It's all stonewash. Yeah.
All stonewash. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I'm a little excited because I had that shit clutch this year where they all started getting cancer and lumps and puking.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, it would be great to redo that. And I'm kind of curious to see if you have the same fucking thing. Because if you have the same fucking thing,
then we got a different problem.
Then you got a different shit. Exactly. We got a problem.
Right.
But it'd be nice to replenish that. And that's a clutch I'm looking forward to. And I will gladly split with my friend Buddy.
Nice.
But then I'm like, take the other breadline because then I don't have to worry about them. Like,
take them
then
all.
They're all over there. They're still within my purview. I can still get babies to sell, but I don't have to worry about them. It's like
for breadlie, I just finished off a project that I've been back and I've had and haven't had and had and haven't had. So I think it was last year, Carpet Fest. Robert was sort of like, I guess he's more into lizards now. Like, I know he was always kind of a lizard guy, but I think
by the four-legged demon. Yeah.
I think he's doing it's the same type of thing that we're talking about, right? It's like, oh, I want to do this lizard and this species and this species and this species. I have these bredli.
Certain things
do I need them? Do I not need them? Whatever.
Certain things will hit the wall. Like I've said it numerous times. The second it comes between the water pythons and something else is going to win.
Yeah.
The only thing that is keeping the water pythons here and freaking more.
Maybe that's why they're not breeding.
Fuck you.
They're like, we know you're Steve McIntyre.
If we breed, we have to. He's going to sell us, you bastard. Yep. God. Dude, it's going to be eventually we're going to get to the point where I have olives, Savu, Dunai, Max, and then it's like, and then I can't get the water python.
It's like the IJ.
Piss me
Every
off.
Group of snakes you have one.
It's always
group
the brown,
like the easy brown ones you can't do. You're like, motherfucker. Thank God there's another species of Carinata, man.
It's done. Yeah, I'd be over. Yeah. Whew, thank God they're all brown and ugly.
Right. Shit. Yeah. So it's I picked up in a 4. So anyway, Robert, he gave me hypo stonewashed and a 4s female.
Okay.
Beautiful. Oh my God, she's gorgeous. And I was trying to figure out what am I going to do with this? Where am I going to take it to? What am I going to do?
Obviously, you know what? 4's male.
Yeah. So I have a stonewashed male.
Yeah.
So then I have a stonewashed hypo female.
There you go.
And then I have I have this pair of a 4. So I was like, well, I would really like to produce some just normal looking bredli, and I think a Fours is the nicest bloodline, in my opinion. Maybe Harris comes in.
You produce Bredli, right?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
I have to. Yes. They've eluded me.
Another one.
Every
I have
time.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. They're going to take away my breeding card pretty soon.
I mean,
if I don't start
everybody gives me flack
something.
for fucking goddamn IJs, and here you are. But I don't.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about how you present it.
all about the sphere of influence.
Yes.
The cosmic octopus.
Excellent. The plans are coming together. It's not what you breed; it's what you talk about. Breeding. Breeding is for the chumps. So yeah, that's sort of my projects, but that's kind of how I'm gearing things. Like, it's like, okay, I have this, what's going to make this better? And, not trying to have price line and this line and that line and all these things. And it's like, nah,
that's
this
how
is perfect.
You should look at it, because if you look at it, how you got into it and how I kind of did for a while of like, I need a zebra. Why? Because I need a zebra. But you don't work with jungles, but I have to have a zebra. Yeah. Like, you can't do carpets without a zebra. Who told you this? The zebra breeders? Like,
they told me when I was sitting at the table. I don't
understand. What are you getting at? It's that kind of thing where it's like you need to figure out what you can do to enhance the animals you got. Right.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have. I did get this. I did get a new book. It's always good on book day.
Mm-hmm.
Anaconda.
Ooh.
The Secret of the World's Largest Snake by Jesus Rivas.
Did I get a new one?
Yeah.
No, not really.
No?
I thought I did, but I don't know. I have too many books back there. I have to go through them.
That's a pretty cool book. It came out a couple years ago. But he's I know him from he did a lot of those Nat Geo shows.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
That's cool. So that is cool.
Dive into that. See what that's about.
Yeah. I've been there's this one book that is Asian colubrid book, like it's like a collection of papers and stuff like that. And the one bookseller that you and I tend to go to, it's not the one that you're thinking about. It's a different one. No, you don't have it. You don't have it. You don't have it. If you have it, I'm taking it. If you have it, I'm taking it. You can't hear me, but if you have it, I'm taking it. You cannot hear me, but if you have it, I'm taking it. It's like
it's not this one, right?
No, I have that one.
Okay. Is it this one?
You son of a bitch. How do you have that?
Rob gave me that.
God damn it. Yes, that's it.
That's the one.
Yes. God damn it.
Yeah. That.
Yes, that's it. God damn it.
Look, there's a.
Yeah, I know. I am aware. Thank you very much.
And then on the other side, it's
yes.
That's a Ganyasoma thing.
God damn it. Well, it's like $200 at the book dealer. Like, I want it, but I don't want it that bad. God damn it.
Well,
now I'm just gonna steal it from you. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm just gonna take it from you. Just like I'm taking this. Okay.
Eric said was allowed. This book. I don't even know it's missing.
I will trade you this kitten for this book. I feel these exchanges are fair.
Yeah. I will watch the puppies.
Watch the puppies.
Horsehead Colubrid book. Deal.
Listen, you can always tell them that we can watch the dogs. No.
What's wrong with you? Shut up.
Say that.
Why would you say these things out loud?
Poor Roxy. She'd lose her goddamn mind.
Oh my God. she would think like, what did my parents do to me? What did I do to deserve this? How can they do this to me? I can see her poor little face as we drive away. Like,
oh my God. Tiny little paws.
What is this big tank coming at me as Mort starts walking towards her? Like, what the fuck is going on?
We can keep them in. I told Melissa, I'm like, we can keep the kittens in Mort's pen. You know, they can't get out. like, no. I'm like, fine. Damn.
Yeah, so we'll be back on track with everything.
Whenever we damn well please.
That's right.
We'll all wait. Yeah,
that's right.
Because I have the microphone and you will listen to every word I have to say.
That's right. That's right. I guess our next show will be the Maclots. Dunai.
Oh, yeah. We have to do that. Yeah.
Show. So, and then we'll be back on track.
I will have to get pictures of both. Mine, but as you can see, compare and contrast the difference between the Max and the Dunai.
Yes.
I tried pairing them this year, but I don't think anything happened.
I'll be right back. You're going to close out the show.
Excellent.
Okay. Very good.
So obviously, you guys can go to the Patreon to join the various levels there. We have the Patreon show that you can join, as well as you get to see the video stream and the pictures that go along with the various shows. You can also go to the Teespring store. We'll have some NPR gear is up on that. You can also go to MoreliaPythonRadio.com to see all the various other things that we have going on that website. And, of course, it is Morelia Python Radio, or NPR, on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, a bunch of stuff. Also, there is the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, just drop a line to myself or Eric, where you can go there and post. They have various discussions, as well as a virtual Carpet Fest that's going on pretty much anytime anybody wants one. So definitely check that out. For other stuff, we have the Cold-Blooded Cafe, which is rodent supplies. So if you can get food and feeders and stuff like that, where we now have a new code, which is MPR20, which will get you 20% off of your order in total, that you can use once as a new customer. Now, this has been opened for anybody who have used the code previously. So if you used it once from the feeders before, you can use it again. Again, it's MPR20. Also, they have other codes for shipping. So I think they are offering a code for anything free over $250, which is FS250. SS250 gets you free shipping on any order over $250. So that is Cold-Blooded Cafe. So again, 20% off, MPR20, FS250 for free shipping for orders over $250. For coffee, we have Cold-Blooded Caffeine. I had a cup this morning. It was delicious.
Good.
Yeah, it was the nice cold brew. They have a new one out there for Ari, the Black Python.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't got it yet, but I'm interested. So, yep, definitely check that out. So, Cold-Blooded Caffeine. You can get all the various coffee blends over there. So, it's quite delicious. Check that out. And
if you want to learn about coffee too, you should check out their YouTube.
Their YouTube, yeah.
Because the one I just watched today was about, you know how they have like the flavor profiles?
Yeah.
And they were explaining like what that really means. Like, it doesn't mean your coffee's going to taste like cherry or, fig blossoms or that's not what it's about.
Yeah, but I mean, that's fun.
Yeah. But it's pretty interesting to.
I love that kind of stuff, especially if you can get interested in that kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, we just because we geek out about reptiles doesn't mean we won't geek out about other shit too. Oh, yeah. And Eric loves coffee.
That's right. That's right. What did I have? Did I have anything out in California?
I'm gonna say, were you able to bring your travel?
No, I didn't actually this time.
Oh no!
I think though that it's become I'm kind of like the smoker of a trip. It's like doesn't matter when it happens, but at some point Eric has to get coffee. Mm-hmm. He can be patient, he can wait, but eventually
at a certain point, we
have to do it.
What is it? I think the Florida trip, there was a Dunkin' Donuts right outside where we were going, and Rob's like, you don't mind just stopping at the same place? I'm like, no, I prefer it. I know what I ordered at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna walk around, drink my iced coffee, and look for a rattlesnake. That's what I want. Like,
it's perfect.
Do I can't? No, fucking. If you were like, let's go to this odd bodega in the middle of now I'm pissed. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because oh man, there was one place I had to throw the coffee away because it was like black tar, man.
Yeah, no,
terrible.
No.
As soon as you walk in, it was like this one place. It was like I would say for us it would be similar to like a hipster type of place where it's like all this bougie coffee and all, and walk in and you're like thinking you're gonna get this high end coffee, and it's just like crap. The kind where you just like Wawa, where you push
no.
You guys are doing it all wrong.
No, it's stupid. You're dumb.
What's going on, West Coast? Jeez.
Listen.
Short your shit out.
But it's what I expect. If I'm going into a gas station, I expect crap. Okay.
Yes.
Don't have me walk into this place and then find out that I'm really here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you go into the other place and their coffee machine shuts down or their coffee making shut down at like 11 o'clock or something like that. And I'm like, what? No. Coffee should be available at all times. All times. You know how many times I've been driving at like 1 or 2 in the morning and I'm like, coffee gonna die. And I have to stop, drink something to get me home so that I can be like, I'll open the door, take 2 steps in, fall on the floor, kick the door closed, and lay there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what got me to Florida.
That and the chocolate covered
coffee beans. Yes. Eating them like they're potato chips.
That's nice.
I finally show up like, man,
you're like a hummingbird.
Size-wise too, yeah. Okay, well,
I've gone off the rails completely. I mean, just at this point in the show. Yeah,
that's right. We will. All right.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we have for everybody tonight. So we'll say thanks, everyone, for listening. We'll catch everybody back here next week for some more Morelia Python Radio. Good night.